Thank you for joining us on History FM Radio on liveparanormal.com and history.fm. From paranormal to the unexplained history, it all happens here. Looking to enhance your radio experience? Participate in live interactive chat 24/7 with our radio show hosts and other like-minded people on www.liveparanormal.com, the only interactive social chat room supported by full interactive media. Stop by now and join in on the fun.
The views expressed here within the programs and chats do not necessarily represent the views of LiveParanormal.com.
You're listening to Live Paranormal Radio at LiveParanormal.com.
Good evening and welcome to Shriekfest Radio. This is Denise Gossett. I am the festival founder and director, and I am your hostess for the night. Shriekfest Radio, oh my gosh, I have actually been hosting it for 2 years now. It's kind of crazy. I cannot believe it. I'm not sure how that happened. And the show itself has been around for 3, which is even crazier. Anyway, I'd like to do a shout-out to our producers. Thank you guys so much for all your hard work and your help and support. Shriekfest is a horror, thriller, sci-fi, fantasy film festival, screenplay competition. We even added a new category this year, demo reels. And, I was trying to come up with some category that people could be involved in the festival even if they didn't have a new film that year. And I came up with demo reels because everyone in this industry has one, whether you're an actor, a director, an editor, a special effects, makeup artist, anything. Everyone has a demo reel. And this way anyone can participate and get exposure because, it's so hard to get people to actually watch our demo reels. And this way a whole group of judges will, and the best ones will screen at the festival, and the winner will take home a prize. So I think it could be really, really cool. I'm getting a lot of good feedback about it. So I'm excited to see what we get in. Our website is shriekfest.com. We have a monthly newsletter that goes out. You can sign up for that there. We're on Facebook. Come give us a like. We're also on Twitter. Come give us a follow. We love to help independent filmmakers spread the news about their projects, so we will retweet anything you send us. Let's see. Wow, 2015. Happy New Year, everyone. This is the first show back in the new year. Kind of exciting. So I hope all of you are pumped for the new year and excited to follow your dreams and pursue those. Tonight, I have a guest. He is an actor and a writer, Jack Nathan Harding. Very excited to have him on. He starred in the winning short film for 2014, Let Me See Your Eyes. So I'm very excited to chat with him. Let's see if we can get him on the line here. And let me give him a little call. So this will be fun. I haven't talked to him since the festival, other than a few emails here and there to set this up. So it will be nice to catch up with him and see how his holidays were, etc.
Hello.
Jack, hi, it's Denise Gossett. You're on Shriekfest Radio. How are you?
I am great. How are you?
I am doing good. I was just telling everyone that you starred and you wrote and Let Me See Your Eyes and how you guys took home a big prize and all that stuff. So I'm excited. We haven't chatted since the festival. So how have you been?
Good.
Yeah?
It's felt so good. A lot of wonderful things happened in 2014, but I don't think I've ever been as excited to start a new year and get the engines going for 2015. I don't know, something about this year. It's going to be special.
Isn't it weird? It has a good feeling, doesn't it?
Absolutely.
Because I'm feeling the same thing. Like, I don't know if you, I'm big on positive thinking and all that good energy and stuff. I don't know if you do like a one word for your year, like that you feel you are predicting will be the one word. Like, have you tried that? Do you have a one word for your 2015?
Ooh. I don't. I haven't in the past, but and strangely enough, the word music pops into my mind.
Oh, that's really interesting.
Yeah, I kind of
so many things.
Yeah, I'm for some reason I'm feeling a vibe that I'll be doing something musically this year. I don't know. We'll see. Yeah.
Oh, that could be fun because I know you have a musical theater background too.
Oh yes, yeah. But yeah, I don't know. It's it just 2015 just seems really full of possibilities, and we got a really good start into that in October with the Let Me See Your Eyes and with our experience at Shriekfest. So that was kind of a nice ending to 2014 and a good kick to get 2015 going too.
Yeah. And you guys have been kind of taking it all around. We'll talk about that film in particular in a little bit, but I wanted to ask you now, I know you're from Texas.
Yeah.
And you kind of got bit by the acting bug pretty young. How old were you?
Gosh, I was too young to remember. Back before computers and back in the old days.
Yeah, the old days.
I was lucky enough to be raised in the West Texas town of Odessa, Texas, and we had a great community theater, Permian Playhouse, that is still there and operating today.
Nice.
And I was so fortunate as a kid growing up to be able to have a place to be involved in theater school, and they had a great youth acting company called Kaleidoscope Company, and of course the minute I realized that singing and dancing and performing and being crazy is something that I could get appreciated for, I was hooked.
Yeah, of course. Wow. So you never had like any self-consciousness about singing, because I know a lot of people do with that sort of thing.
I never really did. I don't know what it was. I think being younger and shyer, singing or performing, it's like you already had permission to be doing something weird or or crazy, because then they're gonna hopefully they're gonna applaud you for that. But no, I never. It was always, I guess people are drawn to that stuff. I don't know. I can't tell you what deep in my psyche makes me feel that way, but definitely just from the earliest age, from the earliest knowing what television was and knowing what actors were, and because the stories and the TV programs growing up were so impactful to me, that to be able to be in those and be part of those, and I don't know, it's crazy.
Yeah. Did you go to college or school for acting, or did you just jump right in?
I just jumped right in.
I'm
kind of a big believer in, like, you could go to school to do something all you want to, but no matter what you've done, no matter what school you've gone to or not gone to, you still have to go out and you still have to get an agent. You still have to try to make work for yourself if that's what you've decided to do.
Right. Yes, go ahead. Sorry.
Oh, and sometimes, and this is of course just a generalization, but sometimes I think schooling allows you to not have to really do it for real.
You know what? That is so funny you said that, because I did go to school, and looking back on it, I wish I had not. I wish I had just immediately come out to LA and started acting, because I do, like you're saying, it kind of, I feel like it stalls people.
Yeah. There is a safety to being in a school, to being in a class, to especially, and then if you get to be the big fish in the pond in college, it may even be harder because you're starting back from scratch.
Right, exactly.
I mean, of course, everybody, there's breaks here and there, and people get discovered doing this and that, and of course that happens. But that's simply not a realistic way to approach a career. So you just got to jump in. You just have to quit talking about it and do it.
And I love that you started in theater, and in fact, you even opened a theater, Center Stage Theater. Tell me about this. What made you decide to do that?
Well, there something in me is just not afraid to try stuff.
That's great.
And although having the community theater was wonderful, if you want to get nitpicky, it is run by a board of directors, and so you start becoming limited on the shows that you can do because nobody wants to offend anybody. And this is, Bible Belt back in the, 80s, 90s, And I kind of thought, it was always nice to go to Dallas or go to a big city that actually had professional theater and see all of these really cool, interesting shows, and always say to yourself, well, it would be fun to be in that show. Too bad we won't ever do it for one reason or another. And so I kind of thought, I don't know what I'm doing. Let's have a theater. Let's do some shows and let's do some interesting things that people aren't used to seeing in a local environment. And we had so much fun. We did it for 2 years. We did 15 shows in that 2-year period. We did musicals. I was more musicals and comedies because, I go to the theater and, to movies and such to be entertained. Mm-hmm. So I'm all about singing and and laughing and fun and jumps and that. So, but we did some great shows and it was a lot of fun, and that's when this weird path you go on to get where we all are today.
Right.
Is such a weird thing because right after that, and it was a hard business. It was hard to imagine it's kind of like trying to do a film yourself and you're paying for it all and you're making the costumes and you're doing everything. Mm-hmm. It was lots and wonderful fun and wonderful experience for people involved. But that was a better hobby than a career. And so I went and did the whole real life thing where you get a real job and so for a lot of years I didn't even pursue. I just thought, I'm just going to be a normal person. and I just wound up through work ending up in California and then actually going to school.
It wasn't acting that brought you to California?
No, that's the crazy past thing.
Oh my gosh!
Because looking back now, when I was young, going, oh, I want to do this. This is what I want to do. There was something inside me that said, this is the thing. Well, then, I had this slump in after closing the theater. Got a regular job working for the Container Store, which actually is what got me to California. but I wasn't being creative enough. Something
right.
inside was like, I'm not being creative. And so, I went to cosmetology school. I thought, well, hell, I'll cut hair,
Mm-hmm.
And so I did that and did cut hair and had my own chair and such for a couple of years, but it was creative, but it still wasn't doing it. And I was in Long Beach at the time, and somebody must have brought in a backstage, or something like that, and I ended up saying to myself, I don't want to be this close to Los Angeles. Having
right.
loved this growing up, I didn't want to be so close and not at least try, right? You
right.
got to at least try.
Yeah.
So, I got my camera and pointed it at myself and took my own headshots, as I think we all have done at one time or another, and printed them out and started submitting to auditions and such. And, before long, it kind of, you start realizing, oh, this is that thing that I had back in the living room, dancing around to the Aristocrats or Cats or whatever was on TV at that time. Yes, I'm very old. So
no, you're not.
but that thing, that feeling I had there, it's like, oh, that's what this is. That's that's what it took me a long time. It took me a lot of years to realize that I was meant to do this, and for whatever reason, however you want to look at life, these weird paths of giving it all up and going to work in retail still somehow got me to California, to Los Angeles, to something was like, yes, you will be doing this.
Meant to
So,
be.
Yeah, exactly.
I love it. And you have all kinds of credits. It's crazy. It's so impressive. It's really exciting. I'm excited to see where you're going from here on out, because, wow, if you look at your IMDb, you guys look him up, Jack Nathan Harding, tons of credits, all kinds of TV, all kinds of movies. What are you most proud of at this point so far?
Oh, gosh, that's hard because, that's like apples and oranges. A couple of things, three things, and it's three things that are kind of really current right now. And as an actor, not only getting to do a role, but getting to do a good role, or getting to perform good writing is always something. You can tell when that script, when it's been crafted. You can tell that there was love put into the dialogue and and those are the things that those are just like the dreamy kind of, this is why I'm here type of scenes. And it's like the kind when you feel really fulfilled. You create a character and you're, it's. I've had a few of those lately, and one of them is a little supporting role I had in Born Wild, which just came out on DVD and the streaming Amazon stuff, whatever you call that. I don't know. I'm an actor, not a computer person.
All right.
But something about that one was just. The writing was great, and I was on screen with William Shockley. We played cousins in the film, and it was just, I don't know, there was just something so real and natural, and it's not, you can't always explain good vibes. You just sometimes they are. There's just a nice place in my heart for that film, and then I spent an amazing couple of weeks up in Michigan last year doing Pirate's Code: The Adventures of Mickey Madsen, and that was nice to another really cool experience, and a great director, Harold Kronk, and a very generous director who includes you in the in the process of the scene and will listen to your input. And you don't always get that.
Right. So true.
And especially in the TV world, because in the TV world you're kind of, let's face it, you're kind of just there to
Yep. Move the story.
Say your lines and get the hell out. Thank you very much.
Yep.
Get out. Next. So of course, that's what I love about theater is the whole family experience, which you just that's what you don't get in TV unless you're series regular and of course sometime you're spending time on a film or something like that. But
right. Now, what do you prefer working on? It sounds like you prefer either theater or film.
I love it all. I love it all. Again, it's kind of apples and oranges, and there's something about, and I feel this way about music too, and when I'm singing a song, or when I'm performing, or let's say live, whether it's theater or whether it's live, there's that kind of the show must go on mentality. It's like you don't stop. If you mess up, you cover it. You use it as part of what have you.
Right.
So for me, my mind, and I go to another place during all of that stuff. When I'm singing a song or when I'm acting, when it's like a whole different part of me takes over. And so when you're doing that live, that part of you takes over through this experience. But when you get 3 lines out and somebody else cuts, or a light falls or something like that, you are brought back to reality. And then of course you have to be able to jump right back into your character. But it's just so different. And that both sides have their thrilling, fan type moments. I just it's all magical. And to me, again, it all goes back to, I guess, being younger. It was that was my joy. That was seeing the films or seeing television. That was how can that not be amazing? And of course, Then you get here and then you realize, oh well, it's real and it's work and it's hard and all of that stuff.
Right. Now, for Let Me See Your Eyes, you wore a lot of hats. You produced, you wrote, you composed, you starred in. Was this the first time that you wore that many hats on a project?
For film, yes. I think when I did, I think the theater.
Yeah.
I wore a lot of those hats, but again, that was so different. But for film, absolutely. No, this was. I kind of have said this for a lot of years, and I don't know if I read it or who I stole it from, but basically, it's like what I say a lot is step 1, dig a hole. Mm-hmm. You just have to start, whether it's writing a script or something. Sometimes you just have to dig a hole, and then now you make the next decision, which is, what do I put in the hole? But you just have to start somewhere. And that's kind of what happened with this Let Me See Your Eyes. I had actually shot a nice role on Brooklyn Nine-Nine, and had a great experience. They were great to work with, but like everything else in Hollywood, I got cut down to like 2 lines, I think it was. And hey everybody, tune in and come watch me. And it was a cute
I know
scene.
It's not the worst. It's the worst.
Yeah, and there was soup and there was things and it was cool, which of course again nobody can take away the experience,
Right.
But it does not exist as far as being in that episode.
You know what? Wait for the extras on the DVDs because the same thing happened to me on The Office, and all my stuff was cut, but I was able to get it off the DVD extras, so I could use it for real.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Nice. That's cool. But so anyway, and I was kind of surprised because one of the major things mentally you have to do as an actor is learn to just roll with it, and some reason that hit me, kind of punched me in the stomach, and it was like the thing that kept saying in my mind was there's no guarantees. Even if you book the job, even if you get to go shoot it, even if you have a wonderful experience, it still doesn't mean that it's going to end up, giving you something like that to use. So that's when it's like, I've got this script that I wrote, probably the first year we moved into this house because we had this weird little scary room under the house, and I sat on it, and I was, because I really have never written anything, and it was kind of being too afraid to show it to anybody or. So
wow.
Anyway, excuse me. That happened with Brooklyn Nine-Nine when I got cut down so much, and it's like I just have to. I'm going to will this into existence, and I pulled that script out, and it's like it's just two people, takes place in one room. How hard can it be? cut to Derek Cole. Trying to light the thing with no place to hide lights. I mean, So sorry about that. But
how'd you meet Derek anyway?
Well, as soon as I got the script done, where I thought I liked it, I sent it to Stephen Twardakis, who is the amazing actor that stars with me.
Yeah.
And so he wrote me back and he said, "This is great. Let me send it to Derek." And I hadn't met Derek, but I had seen their American Ghost Story, or I think it was called Revenant when it was at Shriekfest.
Mm-hmm.
So I wrote him back and said, "Of course, send it to Derek." And I went out immediately after I sent that email to Stephen. I went out to the workshop and started cutting legs for the stove. I was like,
oh my
this is happening. This is
good,
happening.
Good.
And so anyway, then we got Derek, and this is one of those crazy things where everybody was free. It was this summer, and Stephen had some time, I had some time, Derek had some time, and it's like, within from talking the first time we talked to when we started shooting, may have been a week and a half, and then we shot on 7 different days. So it's one of those weird things. Like this is, and the whole time it's like this is really happening. Oh, and then you start seeing screenshots or seeing things that Derek is setting up. And it's like, oh my gosh, and then that's the joy of bringing other people into the mix, because then, I am not a cinematographer. I don't have those aspirations,
Right.
And I'm certainly glad there are people that do, because, and I'm certainly lucky that, I found one of them.
Yeah. Yeah, Derek's great. Jack, are you there? Oh. Jack?
Hello?
Oh, hey, what happened?
Hey, I don't know. Am I here now?
Yeah, I can hear you now. That was so weird.
Okay.
Technology. Oy.
I know. Oy.
So you finally get going, and you guys all I mean, it seemed like you guys had known each other forever, and you had basically just met Derek, right?
Yeah. Just met Derek, but gosh, I mean, it was easy. Derek is so laid back, and Steven is so, everybody, and also trying to do this with their production company, and then John Gale, of course, in that mix as well. But no, we absolutely worked together really, really well. As far as shooting, Derek, oh my gosh, he just had the tough time, because this room, the ceiling is 6.5 feet tall, and it's 11 by 11, which you may think is large until you fill it with a bed and everything else. There was like zero place to put a camera. There was so much of his time, poor Derek, was just spent trying to, trying to make it look like something. And of course, I think it ended up looking like something amazing. So,
it is. It's great. I mean, for a short film, there's so much packed into that short film. And it keeps you guessing, and the acting's amazing. You guys did a great job.
Thank you. I am props to Steven again too. All of that is exactly as I wrote it.
Wow.
All the, and to have somebody like Steven, and that's kind of what, as an actor, I feel my job is to do, is to take words that somebody else has carefully written, and to be the vessel, and to make those words like they're coming out of my mouth for the first time ever.
Right.
And which is hard to do when the writing isn't great. But Steven could take, because I write with a lot of dashes. I don't use necessarily periods and stuff, because I don't think people talk necessarily with periods and stuff.
Right.
But he makes it seem like, whether it's even an ad lib or something like that, he makes it sound so real, and he's so grounded, and all good stuff.
Yeah. Now, how did you come up with the idea?
Well, actually, the setting was the first part of the idea. When we bought the room. There was a strange room, and a family member, I don't know what family member, but a family member lived down there and had a bed and a little microwave. There were locks on both sides of the door. I don't know what that means. Seriously. So anyway.
That is creepy.
Right. So we had that, and as far as the idea and even the setting, it's like, part of in my brain was, if this is how do you make a zombie film if you can't get zombies or do zombies? It's like, well, you have them outside and they don't come in, or and to me, I wanted it to be a relationship. I wanted it to to be about those two people in that room. So the threat, which was zombies or some sort of post-apocalyptic, humanoid creature.
Right.
It could have been wolves. It could have been war.
Right.
I think what happened in that little room kind of would happen no matter what the threat is outside. But honestly, I can't. I just knew that I just wanted like a cat and a mouse, like the Hitchcock movies or the Agatha Christie mysteries.
Right.
Those I always thought were such fun, and to have characters that you're not quite sure who's the bad guy, and then maybe it's the other way around, and then maybe it's that's just what I like. I'm drawn to that type of thing. So that's kind of how the idea started.
Well, I think it's cool. Well, and it's also creepy that you have that room under your house with double locks on it. That is just so bizarre. But I'm glad you had the space, and I'm glad you came up with the idea because it's a great short.
Thank you.
Now, you've done a lot of independent films as well. What draws you to a role? Like, is it just because I know a lot of actors go through stages where it's whatever I can get my hands on, I'll do.
Right.
But I feel like you're to the point where you can pick and choose. And what draws you to a role?
I think a lot of times, or what I get excited about when a role excites me, I guess is probably the best way I could put this is when it's doing something that I would never ever do in my real life. And I think that's probably why playing bad guys and prisoners and stuff is so much fun, because I'm just sort of a kind of a laid back,
nice guy,
chill kind of dude, and so it's fun to have permission to be a jerk. It's fun to because I don't normally give myself that permission to do that. Of course,
right.
Watch us have callers saying, I don't agree with you there, Jack. But that's what excites me, and what draws me to a role is the danger, the what being able to experience something I haven't, because as you know, that you kind of go through whatever it is that character goes through. There's of course a section of it that you are acting, but as a good actor, you're allowing that stuff and that emotion, or the hatred, or the fear, especially in horror films, the fear or you're allowing that into your body, and that's exciting and that's exhilarating. And then when you go, when the light's on and it's go time, it's even more exhilarating. And like I said before, then that's when you go to this place that's something other than Jack. It's something else that kind of takes over. I also rambled.
No, it's great. I'm really enjoying hearing. And what is your process? How do you, when you get a role, how do you prepare?
Well, this is so boring. But the first thing I do now, I have to memorize. I have to memorize. I am now I'm my eyes are too crappy, but I've never been good at going back and forth to the paper, nor have I ever felt like I was really committed when I was holding paper in my hands.
It's true.
And I hear there's opinions and stuff, and the older I get, the more I realize that, yes, there's a million opinions, so just do what the hell you think is the right one, because you can't make everybody happy.
Right.
But I get it in my head. And as soon as I get it in my head, kind of like, and technology is great for that, recording the other lines and leaving spaces, I basically, if I have time, I drill this stuff into my head, because then when I can say these things without having to think about them, what's the next line? If I can do that, that's when, for me, I can start relaxing and then start experiencing it. And then as I rehearse it, the thing that the little ticker that helps to keep you where your place is in the script or whatever, that for me is able to evaporate, and then I can just do whatever crazy weird thing is that I do, and I and I don't try to judge it too much, because I know and you can say as many lessons as you want to, and until you live them, you don't always learn them. But
right.
Censoring myself has probably been what I would look back and say has been my biggest downfall.
Really?
Or being too harsh a judge on myself.
On yourself, yeah.
On myself. So because I used to when I was younger and would audition, it seemed more goal oriented, or like, I'm going to get this job, I'm going to get this role, and I'm probably sure it just comes with time, but once you realize that this is a weird, whether you call it a wave or a roller coaster, this life as an actor, with your ups and downs and goods and bads,
right.
that all I can do is just enjoy it. And so when I find a role that's wonderful or juicy or well written or has something scandalous, or some person or some kind of character that you would never ever be, or at least you would never tell anyone in public. But those are the joyous. I can't talk now. Those are the joyous moments for me, and so I don't. As far as process, to me, it's getting it in my head and then just getting out of my way and just letting myself feel the stings or the joys or whatever is being thrown my way by the scene.
That makes sense. What is your daily life like as an actor? Are there certain things that you get up and you do, like I postcard and I keep in touch, I have a database, all this sort of thing, and is there something that you do consistently that you feel helps your career?
For me, I think, and I do have all that database stuff. I'm a long time postcarder. Definitely I do that kind of stuff. Web presence, is a big thing.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Now, and if having, I find it's not always the funnest thing to do, but I find sometimes I spent my entire day just online, just creating images for a website, I'm in this or that or Shriekfest interview or something, getting on Photoshop.
By the way.
Thanks.
Yeah,
Thank you.
I love them. All the images you've been posting. Wow.
Thanks. Well, I'm kind of one of those people that kind of believes, whether you like it or not, this society and everything is so image based versus reading, and so I try to throw a picture out anytime I can because, I'm not into this whole analytical Facebook, wackiness, but when you see at the bottom of your thing, like how many people this post reached or something,
right.
The ones with pictures, people have to look at pictures.
Yeah, you're right.
But what I do, I think, which is ethereal or whatever you want to call it, daily, that I think helps my career is I do something creative. I'm working on another script right now.
Oh, nice.
I am with my music, which is kind of country music focused right now. I play every day. because so many times I've had instances acting-wise where, I picked up the guitar just a number of years back. Again, I just start banging on it. You just start doing it, not knowing really what I was doing. But I end up getting to work on the lead because I was able to take their lyrics and turn them into a song, and only because I had picked up the guitar a few years earlier did I get to be on the lead. So even though it may not be specifically film or TV, seemingly to be directed like towards that, I just always try to create. I guess that sounds. I don't know what that sounds like. It sounds kind of weird. Whether it's rehearsing my music, whether it's writing on a script, I feel that something about that, the creative forward motion of that, is what keeps my acting career going. It's what keeps, and it gives you joy, because you have to find, you can't put all your joy into your acting career or your writing career or whatever it is. You have to find your joy from other things. Just like you're looking at your posts, I get tired all the things you do, and your martial arts, and oh my gosh, it's like, but you obviously, and you have family, and you obviously have other joy besides
right
besides that, so.
Yeah, you have to live a life. You can't just be an actor. And so many actors think that's what you just have to do, is be an actor, and it doesn't work that way.
I did that for a long time, and
me too.
You can never, you can't go back and get that time, but you can go back and look at it and say, I spent so much time being bummed out that I somehow wasn't at X goal, right? Which didn't really matter, because here I am now at this, which is, this whole goal schmoll, it's, as long as you're going forward and as long as you're still on the path, I feel, things are going to happen,
Right.
But it's a big mental game.
Really, you just can't ever give up. That's really what it boils down to. As long as you stay in the game, it will happen. It's just not necessarily on your time schedule. It's
exactly. Exactly. And I think that's, to me, that's, and it's stuff I work on, trying to find peace with an acting career, which kind of sounds like a title for a book. It probably already is. But
no, it's true.
But if you can find peace doing that, and you can get past, it took me a lot of years to get past just that. I lived in like a place of angst almost all the time, because it's either I can't get an audition or and so before you know it, you've spent 5 years in this state of being angry or pissed off, and you look back and it's like, oh my gosh, what a waste of time.
Yeah.
So now you can have bad periods or slow periods or ups and downs, as this career will for all of us. Mm-hmm. And it's like, oh, okay, well, now's the downtime, or now's the up time, and let's just ride and enjoy it all. And wow, now you spent that next 5 years being happy. Oh, wow. And
exactly. I used to not want to take vacations, because if I left town, I might miss out on something, And it's ridiculous.
We are the same person with that. I wanted to be so available.
Yep.
And turn around and and of course that is the thing they say in Hollywood is, book a vacation, and that's when you get auditions.
Right.
but yeah, I spent a lot of years looking at it the wrong way, and I think the more I'm in it, the more I'm coming to peace with the ins and outs, and of course I'm doomed. I can't do anything else. I mean, it's just
right.
I've tried. It's just and I have stuck with this more than I've stuck with any other job of any type that I've ever had.
Jack, we don't want you to do anything else. You're so enjoyable to watch. Seriously, you stick with this acting thing. It's going well for you.
Thank you. I think I will.
Before we run out of time, I want to make sure we get like websites out there. Where can people find you? What do you want people to know?
Well, the hub online for me is jacknathanharding.com. Great. And from there, basically, you can link to my Twitter, my Facebook, IMDb. That's kind of the hub.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for coming on the show. This has been so much fun.
Thank you so much. I've had a blast.
We're very like-minded. A lot of the things you were saying, I'm like, oh, my gosh, okay, I did that. Yeah, I think that too. Yeah, uh-huh. Like when you were saying just start digging, my whole thing, I always tell people, just start. Don't complain that you work 40 hours a week and you've got 3 kids and you have no time. If you want to write, I don't care if you write 5 minutes a day. By the end of the year, you have a script.
Right. Yep.
And naivete will take you far because what we don't know can't stop us.
Exactly. Yep.
So we're very like-minded here, Mr. Jack, and it is so nice to chat with you more. I'll have to have you back on again to chat about some more of your future projects because I know you have a lot going on, and we didn't even get to touch on it.
I know.
But our time is up, unfortunately. But we will do it again.
We'll do it again. Thank you so much, Denise.
Thank you, Jack. You have a great evening, and I will send you the link so that you can get it out to whoever wasn't able to listen tonight.
Wonderful.
And if you have anything like upcoming, feel free to tweet me or tweet Shriekfest, post it on our Facebook page, anything you want. I'm here to help you spread the word.
I will do it. Thank you so much.
You're welcome, Jack. I'll talk to you soon.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Oh, that was great chatting with him. It's funny to talk to another actor who's so like-minded because there are quite a few actors out there who they're not quite as ambitious and willing to try things. They feel like once they get an agent, they just sit back, and it really does not work that way. So I'm glad we had an actor on the show because mostly we have writers or filmmakers, which are great to hear from as well. But I know a lot of people out there are wondering how you get into acting, and so it was nice to have him on and chat a little bit about that stuff. Before we run out of time, Happy New Year, guys, and follow those dreams. What is it you want to do? What is your one word for the year? And, I like to pick the one word, and I go by my gut feeling. What does my gut say this year is going to be about? Several years ago, my word was change. Like I knew big changes were coming. Last year, my word was discovery. I learned a lot of different things. I've been having to self-tape a lot of auditions because the industry is going that way. It's so bizarre. But I had to learn how to do that and do it well and light it and edit and, compress and all these things that I had no idea how to do. But I had to learn how to do all that. So last year was my discovery word. And this year I feel like mine is whirlwind because I honestly feel in my heart of hearts that my career is going to just go crazy this year. And it's going to be amazing and fun altogether. And speaking of that, I'm actually headed to New Orleans tomorrow for a big meeting. So keep your fingers crossed for me. But like I was saying, definitely figure out what your word is. Write down your goals for 6 months, a year, 5 years. Where do you see yourself? What is your ideal life? What do you want out of life? And write it down and do a little bit every day to get you closer to that. Because really, that is what living's about, is enjoying yourself. You know, you've got family and friends that love you, and you've got your health, hopefully, and then the next thing that comes is dreams. What are your dreams? Let's not be those people that when they're in their 80s or 70s or 90s or whatever it may be, look back and go, why didn't I? Why didn't I do this? Why didn't I just try? Because the trying, so what if you fail? Who cares? To me, it's better to fail than to never have tried. And, you know, some goals are so glorious that they're worth failing for. And I hope that everyone is looking at this new year, this new clean slate, as a way to try and just see what happens. So if you're a writer, write a little bit every day. If you're an actor, find ways to perform. Like Jack was saying, you know, he took his own headshots. I've done that before, too. So if you don't have the money, just to get yourself started, do some student films. You can use your own headshots for that sort of thing until you get your resume built up and find an agent, all that sort of thing. Filmmakers, start networking with other people. You know, he had written the script. He showed it to a friend. They knew Derek. And then from there, they started this project. It's amazing how things fall into place if you let it. You got to be open to letting it happen. And that's one of the biggest things I've learned, is just really be open to things and trust. Trust it's coming. Trust it will happen. And so that is what I really want you guys to focus on this week. Start writing those goals. And I'll be back here next week with a new guest. And if you feel up to it, you know, definitely email me. Let me know, Shriekfest at AOL, or email at shriekfest.com. And let me know what you guys have been pursuing, how's it going, how's it feeling, all that sort of thing. All right, guys, have a great night and follow those goals.